Welcome, beautiful yogis. So glad you're here. It's Father's Day. Congratulations, all the dads. And we'll reflect a little bit about that. We're going to start our restorative yoga in the open book pose. So have your props at hand. Create a little lie back recliner, 2 blocks supporting your bolster. And we're going to sit right here. And these 2 blankies on each side will support our legs. And it's really quite a lovely place to settle this body. You can bring the blankies up to catch your thighs and even to catch your elbows. So as you lie in the middle of your bolster, your knees, your legs wide and your arms falling away each side. Let your eyes fall closed too and tune into your inner body. Arriving in this place where we get to relax. We're going to switch from doing to being. Sensing what's here. And aligning with the breath, and we'll start with some deliberate breaths. So through your nose, please inhale. Let this breath ascend, climb up your body. Pause a moment at the full moment. And then through the pursed lips, blow your breath away. We'll do it again. Nose in. Lovely, full, expanded state for the little pause. And then letting it go through your pursed lips, we call the dandelion. Exhale. Let your shoulders settle and your legs settle, your face relax. As the breath comes pouring in again to that full moment. And blowing it away. Just a few more. We're setting the pattern for the breath practice throughout, the breath being so powerful, such a vehicle for transformation. And this opening breath so intentionally bringing us present, blowing away distractions, and beginning to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which says, time to chill, time to relax. So at this time, the breath is the vehicle for inducing the relaxed state. And of course, it includes our will, our intention. This is what we want now. We want to relax this breathing body. It's a reset, coming back to our optimal well-being. And as we stay in the open book pose, invite you to stay with the same breath pattern, and instead of blowing the breath away, just breathe it out through your nose, letting it be longer than the inhale. And if you're exhausted or hot or overwhelmed, you might be sighing the breath out. The breath is our medicine, our first and immediate medicine. We could call it first aid, because it rushes to our help when we call it in. When we go into shock or overwhelm, sometimes we forget to breathe. The nervous system has put us into a kind of freeze state. But as soon as we realize that, we can breathe long, completely out. And that shifts us, it transforms our state. So we stay and we rest in this open book pose with the long exhalations in the way that feels good to you. And then a kind of clearing of the cache. I invite you to reflect, and we're not going to linger. Just remember, where were you 30 minutes ago? What were you doing? Just get a mental picture of that. And of course, it doesn't need to be exact. And then let that go, that image of whatever you were doing or where you were or what you were feeling, whatever pops up, and go back like another 30 minutes before that. So that'll be like an hour ago from now, approximately. See yourself, feel yourself in that moment. So we're back at about 4 o'clock Pacific time. Let's go now to 1 o'clock. So we've hopped back 3 hours. Where were you? What were you doing, thinking? Of course, there's absolutely no judgment or not trying to make sense of anything. It's just feeling those moments in our memory bank. And they're simply approximations. This is not a cross-examination or anything that has to be exactly right. Let's go back to mid-morning. It's Father's Day. Perhaps you were participating in some way in this particular day that we have today, or not. And now I invite you to see the image of yourself. First thing you put in your mouth. It might be your toothbrush, your cup of coffee, your brekkie. Doesn't matter what it is, just see the place. Feel the moment. And now the invitation to go back to the moment where you open your eyes and ask yourself whatever you ask yourself in the morning. And we let all those little memories exhale away on your next exhale. Reconnect with the shape you're in and the body shape and the props. And are you still comfy? Is there any adjustment needed? Did your shoulders tense? And we're moving now into the square breath. So inhale. It's not the fullest breath. Pause. Exhale. And now hold the empty moment. and do it again. So you might be adding a count to measure your breath. Your inhale could be to 4 or 5. Be sure to pause for the same count. Then the exhale. And the kicker is that pause on the no breath at all. This is where we can really drop deeply into this internal empty place. To breathe again, another square breath. So in your own count, your own guidance, it takes attention and intention to do this. And staying with the practice for a couple more cycles, and I'll cue you when we switch again. All right, yogis, we're on our last square breath. Give it your everything. And we drop now from giving our everything, our intention and diligence, to handing over to the natural wisdom of the body to breathe you. No counting, no shaping, just letting the breath flow through you. Checking in on your physical body. Has any tension crept into your jaw? Facial muscles, and just softening and relaxing. Attention now to your arms. You're probably feeling a little heavy and weighted down. So as you inhale now, just spread your fingers wide. And as you exhale, let the fingers release and relax, curl back. And this inhale, the fingers spread wide and the elbows straighten, and the arms might lift an inch or two off the ground as you stretch them straight. And then the exhale, we let the arms drop back into gravity. Oh, and how the shoulders can feel at ease. A bit more movement now. Inhale, stretch your fingers, straighten your arms, and raise them up until they appear as parallel lines in your vision. And then the exhale, widen your arms towards your knees, hook around them. Oh, and help your knees come back to up, widening your feet until they are flat. And then lift and lower your tailbone to ease your back. And then widen your feet to lean the knees in. And any energy pooling that occurred now in your low back and your groin, finding its own natural cadence, distributing. And now we're going to roll off one side of this recliner. Come on up and let's sit up for the child's pose. So we're going to move that one blankie that's going to support the legs and your other blanket becomes a little padding. Be diligent about this too. Get your blankie nice and smooth and plop your left buttock on it. Come right up to the end of the bolster and arrange your legs. See how your body feels. We're going to have a hand on each side of the recliner. It's still in the same way. And then lift towards it, lift your heart, and lie forward. So we're revolved in the trunk and lying right in the middle, settling down, lying on one ear, preferably left hip, left ear. And notice the feeling state that's here. Completely different sensations from the previous pose. And breathe into your back. And so at this moment, in this first side of the reclining child's pose, revolved child's pose, let's take another little journey down memory lane. This time, connect with Daddy, your dad. So you could pick a moment in your childhood, perhaps, a lovely moment that you could remember. Bring one up, pull one up from your memory, where you just loved your dad. I know that we don't all have dads, and maybe he wasn't there as you were growing up. Some adult man who felt like your dad. And let a little scenario appear. Hopefully a lovely moment. And how, now, looking back, what might you say? So we hope the lines of energy are clear, and sometimes they're not. Still a little fuzzy, still some old stuff. It's really helpful for us to move on. So to the extent that you could let go in this moment, any hurts, bad feelings, breathe them away. And if that's not possible for you now, it's okay too. Self-compassion, this is where I'm at right now. So we might all be having different feelings. And in the best way that we can, we honor our Father. And then letting that go. A father in present day that you know, either your own or the one who's fathered your children, or a man that you think's a wonderful father. Connect with that person and send your love. sending loving energy. We can't fake that. But we're sending it out together now to all fathers everywhere. And that's a lot of people. And that all may give all that fathers do in the best way that they can. And may they receive the honoring for doing that. And we let all that fade away and we come back to the breath and the feeling of this body where your consciousness lives. And how you're sitting on your left buttock and revolved. Right back in your breathing body. Letting your nervous system settle even deeper into the relaxed place. And then, beautiful yogis, let's gently make our way up to do the other side. So use your hands as you come on up and make your way to your right buttock. Bring that blankie along to support your legs, maybe your top knee. And we'll do the same shaping. Rotate, lie forward. On your right ear, right buttock, right ear, and soften down. So you're resting in your breath, feeling it in your back. And our reflections now go to the turning of the wheel. The seasons are turning. The lunar cycle has just turned. So Friday we began again a new cycle in the sign of Gemini, the twins. This is the third of the new moons that we mark in the spring. And we are coming into the time of goodwill to all humankind. And that is the lunation, the third lunation in spring. We began in the spring with Christ. We followed in the middle of spring in Taurus with the Buddha. And now it is goodwill throughout humanity. And we're also very close now to the summer solstice. That's going to be exact on Wednesday this week. And the summer solstice is a portal, a moment. Some call it an acupuncture point. It's a power point where the most light comes onto our planet, just by the tilt of the sun, the tilt of the earth towards the sun. And it's a sacred time we call Kairos. It's a moment when we're kind of out of time, where we lose track of clock time, and we are transported, should we choose to. So it's sacred time, cyclical time. And of course, here we are in the northern hemisphere, so we are having a summer solstice this week, and our friends down in the southern hemisphere and our friends in Cape Town, our old home, are having the winter solstice. Isn't it amazing? And they too will have that PowerPoint moment. Cycles of time, the seasons, let us know what actions to take living on the earth, planting a garden, preparing the ground, when to plant, when to harvest, when to lie fallow. The ancient also respected these cycles and had all kinds of ceremonies and rituals to mark it. So I myself today joined a lovely group of people at the labyrinth, and together we created intentions, sang songs, and walked the labyrinth together to mark this powerful time, change of seasons. I received by email today a lovely poem. Actually, it's more of a prayer. It's a school prayer. And it's written by Diane Ackerman. And she had been asked to write a poem. So here's what she says. Years ago, when Congress was thinking about reinstating school prayer, I was asked to compose one. I believed in the separation of church and state as our founding fathers did, and I didn't want children to have to pray to someone else's idea of God. But I did want them to develop a sense of spirituality about the planet and each other, and so I wrote this poem, says Diane Ackerman. And so here it is. The school prayer. In the name of the daybreak and the eyelids of morning and the wayfaring moon and the night when it departs, I swear I will not dishonor my soul with hatred, but offer myself humbly as a guardian of nature, as a healer of misery, as a messenger of wonder, as an architect of peace. in the name of the sun and its mirrors, and the day that embraces it, and the cloud veils drawn over it, and the uttermost night, and the male and female, and the plants bursting with seeds, and the crowning seasons of the firefly and the apple, I will honor all life, wherever and in whatever form it may dwell, on earth, my home, and in the mansions of the stars. I would have liked that prayer when I was at school, but I love it now and happy to share it with you, beautiful yogis. So let's very gently now make our way out of the revolved child's pose, and let's go right away to the seated forward bend. So that'll stretch the spine out straight. We're going to create a table for that. 2 blocks supporting the bolster. Nice and steady. And then we'll sit on one of these blankets. I'm using that platform blanket, folding it double, and sitting on it on both butt cheeks now. And then the legs, they can go straight or they can be crossed. The reason for this blanket is that it helps just tilt the pelvis a little bit so that hinging forward is facilitated. And resting now over your tabletop, or resting on your brow, or on a little pillow support for your head. Tune into all the places that you can feel in your body. Our breath is still here. So as you rest here and breathe, you might ponder what intention you would like to bring into the summer solstice. So before we all walked into the labyrinth this afternoon, we each said our name and our intention. And I loved hearing everybody's intention. It was just 1 or 2 words, because when I heard them and I hadn't thought of them, I thought, oh yes, I want that too. And so we had intentions from integrity and trust, allowing, gratitude, confidence, productivity, collaboration, radiant joy, peace, good health and abundance. So these are some of the intentions I heard today, and maybe that sparks something for you. Letting something come to mind that feels authentic to you. And when you have your intention, we're going to stay in this shape. The sense of that quality being in the cosmic field in limitless, infinite amounts, awaiting us to call it in. And then we'll just inhale it. I inhale confidence, for example. And exhaling, I let it spread through my body, the quality of confidence. Stay with your word, drawing it into your body fully, holding it for a moment, treasuring the quality that you are intending. Exhale it into every cell of your body. And in the most relaxed and easy way, let this be your mantra. Filling this vessel, this physical form of our body, with your chosen intention and chosen quality. And so we're simply opening to it, opening the funnel so that it can come funneling right in and come to live with us. To intend in this way on the relaxed breathing is quite powerful. We're just going to do it a few more cycles. And if you remember over the next few days, spend a little while with it. The knowing that your intention is set, it is already so. Just let it go and come back to your natural breath, the sensations in your body. Going to renew our pose a little bit. So know that you can change your legs, change the cross of them, take them wide or bring them in. And then the invitation is to just come up as we do in salutations, we're kind of halfway up. Get longer in your heart center and spine and come forward just that little bit more. And settle into this new length, which might be very minuscule. And we'll relax into this new spinal length, low back stretch, in the natural breath. And so from here, we'll make our way up, slowly up. Leave your setup, your tabletop, as we're going to lie on the back now. So shift the pillow a little further back, and then let your legs lie over the bolster or up a nearby wall. This is elevated legs. And resting back. So all that stretching of the seated forward bend now releases into a new place. A place where we are supported completely in the spine, snuggled in, aligned with the midline. And the legs are raised somehow over the bolster or against the wall. And the peace of being held. As we drop into deeper inhalations. And longer, slower exhalations. Letting all your attention rest in your breath. There's no counting, measuring needed in this one. The breath itself, the mantra. We are resting on our backs with elevated legs, absorbed by the breath, held by the earth, nourished by the air. Warmed by our inner fire and the beautiful summer sunshine. And now, beautiful yogis, let's complete this shape. You can bend your knees, hug them in. And just rolling to your side, I have a new setup for you today. So, we're going to do a little side stretch. So the bolster is where we'll lie. This time, draw your knees up and let's place a block. Let's place a block at the far end of the bolster. Blanky's not part of this. And snuggle the bolster into your waist and then lie on your side. So I've started with my right side. And lying on your arm, get anything that's bumpy out of the way. And you could lie on your right ear, all the way on the bolster. Now you could leave your bottom leg bent if you're feeling like you could be tipping, or you could straighten it out. But the top leg will straighten out, so that would be your left leg. The left leg, as though you were pushing that foot into an imaginary wall. Let's get into the picture here. There. Good. And then the top arm, your left arm, stretch it overhead. And so now we've got a few moments of active left side stretch. Breathing into your side ribs. And we're still being held by the bolster. Good, and then let's relax that arm down and bend the top knee so it lies on the bottom knee. And just lie here for 3 more cycles of breath. Now to do the second side, you could just turn around, leave the bolster as it is, and I'll be talking you through it. But I'm going to turn myself around so I'm still facing you. And place the bolster the other way. Bring it all the way close to this other hip. So now we're lying on the left side. Stretch long. Stretch your top leg. And once you've got that top leg straight, bring the arm up and over. And we do an active stretch for 3 breaths, actively top leg straight, pushing through the foot, reaching through the arm. It's not forward, it's in the side plane. And then we'll return the arm to the relaxed place and relax the top leg as well. And just be here for just 3 conscious breaths in this side stretch. Nice. I'm going to come up. Sit for a moment in cobbler's pose. Sit on a blankie. Sitting on a blankie, cobbler's pose. Now, some of you are flexible and you'll be happy to just come forward. A lot of us will just want something to rest on. Could be a block, but that might still be a long way forward. It could also be the bolster. So position your bolster, try to have your feet together. And so all we're doing now is coming along the midline. So we've side stretched. Now we're coming back to stretching the midline. Feel free to make it more of a deeper forward bend. Bolster might be lying down on top of your feet. So many ways this can be done. So it's a deeper forward bend than we did on our tabletop, if available for you. And we have 3 more long exhalations in this shape. Slowly up. Good. So now as you come up, get comfy in your seat, cross your legs, and we'll do a little alternate nostril breathing right here. Right hand closes the right nostril. Breathe in left. We close the left, open the right for exhale. The right inhales. And when you're full of breath, close it up and exhale left. Feel free. Inhaling again, same side. Feel free when you get to the top of the breath and switching. Before you exhale, hold the breath a moment. Then the exhale through the right, holding the empty moment, and then in right. Holding the full moment, and out left. Holding the empty moment, and in left. Good. Pausing at the top. Exhale, right. Hold the empty. In right. A little pause. Out left. A little pause. In left. We hold the full breath. Switch for exhale. We hold the empty breath and breathe in. Hold the full moment. Drop your hand down. I will exhale through both. And sit now in the feeling of the breath through both nostrils, without pauses. Receiving the calm balance that the Nadi Shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing, brings us. We get to lie down again on the back. This is going to be supported bridge, blocks to the bottom of the mat. The pillow blanket above the mat, ready for later. And the bolster under the knees. But we're not going to let the legs relax over the bolster, because we're going to use the legs to lift the hips, pull the bolster underneath the sacrum. So we've got a cushy lift, or it depends on your bolster, it might be hard, it might be too high, just use a blankie. And so with the raised hips, let your legs stay as they are, or stretch out over your blocks. A whole new shape. Energy channels opened to flow. So restorative yoga in particular does, of course, stretch and open the body. But because it's so supported, it really opens the energy channels in just a beautiful, supportive way. That allows the aches and pains and the stress to waft away with the exhalation. And to be nourished with the inhalation. Resting now in your cycle of renewal and clearing, framing it in a way that's lovely for you. So beautiful, yogis. Let's complete this supported bridge shape. So easy to do. Just bend your knees so you can push that bolster down. Always nice to draw the knees in for a little hug. Ease the low back. Then your bolster is there to rest your legs over. And your pillow blankie is just above your head. Pull that down. And be aligned now in the most natural on your back shape on Mother Earth. To come into the final part of our practice at this time of the summer solstice in our part of the world. The Milky Way, stars, sun, gateways. The turning of the very big wheel, thousands of years, is happening. And it's also the turning of the seasons. So the sun appears to stand still at the solstice for the 3 days. And it is a sacred time. So have a sense of resting now in sacred time. Kairos, it's not clock time. Our sun transmits light codes and light energy. And this is the time when it's really, really strong. And so a little poem here to energize this understanding. Blessed, blessed. Blessed by the bright light of the sun, blessed by summer's enlivening fun, blessed by the abundance of the earth, blessed by joy, ecstasy, and mirth, blessed to be here now, blessed to uphold a sacred vow, to honor the gift of this time, to honor the sacred ways, to celebrate with heartfelt praise. And that heartfelt praise, beautiful yogis, in this Kairos sacred time, is to drop deeper into your own sacred being. as you feel your breathing again, know that you have given your body-mind a beautiful gift with this practice. By relaxing deeply, we've opened to the natural wisdom of the body to heal itself. To trust that. We've set intentions. And so we reach completion now with a gratitude moment. And so a nice way to do that is to curl up on your side. Know that if you're happy where you are, stay as you are. But breathe at your heart and feel gratitude for the last few moments of our practice. Gratitude for self, for life. And we send blessings, blessings to all beings everywhere. Thank you so much, beautiful yogis, for this practice with us today. We wish you a beautiful week. Namaste.